that make sense? Maybe not. Does it?
I can't hear.
Then don't nod your head. It's Maggie, and I am back today with a two-part video that is going to be all about my ostomy bag change. So the first video, which is this one, is going to be all the products I use with all the product numbers, because I know people get on me for not putting that. And the second video is going to be the actual ostomy bag change. I have Zach on the other side of the room here, and I wish I had a mirror so I could show you guys, but he's being very distracting. So I apologize if I start cracking up. He's throwing his hands up like this. I apologize if I start cracking up in the middle of this. But let's get right into the products I use. I'm going to show you everything from start to finish with the products I use, and the only things that I'm not going to post below are the actual ostomy bag and the flange that I use. All the other stuff that I use I'm going to put Amazon links to in case you are interested in finding out more information about them. But let's look at my flange. So my flange is from Coloplast. I used to use Hollister products, but I found that the quality was going down and they really just weren't innovating a whole lot. The only thing new with Hollister was the Sarah Plus, and I tried it and it wasn't good. So I decided, forget this, I'm going to switch to something else, and I really like the Coloplast. It gives me a lot of flexibility with how I can use it because they also have non-drainable bags, but surprisingly enough, I use the drainable bags, which is kind of new for me. So yes, I am using the Centura Mio line. It is a flat flange. I don't use convex. If you've seen my stoma, it kind of sticks out pretty far. I don't have any issue with retraction. You can see on the flange it has the little size number there, the red 50. Sometimes websites, when you're purchasing it, will reference the color, so it would be red for this size. It also has the lines, so you can decide where you want to cut. I know that my stoma is about 1 inch in diameter, so I always cut to the same line and don't really have an issue with that. Okay, so we will flip the flange over so you can see the other side of it. You can see there's some belt loops. They make a belt that some people decide to use that wraps around and hooks into the little loops there. And then you can also see the ring. So this is where the bag attaches into the flange. So this little tab right at the top, it helps you peel the backing off of the flange fairly easy. I usually wind up cutting that off because I find it very irritating. So I cut it off before I ever even take the backing off of the flange. And this is the box that the flanges come in. So they usually come in a box of 5. You pull out this little tray and it has them all nicely stacked inside. I actually like the packaging for this. I like taking that tray out of the box and putting it in a drawer so that way you can see all your flanges and how many you still have. It just looks nice. It's kind of organized. And then we will flip the box over and you can see the product number. So if you are interested in this particular brand, this is the product number. This is for my exact size that I use. So please note that if you have a different size stoma, the number might not be the right one for you. So then we move on to the bags, you know, the bags that go with the flanges. Every bag has a filter at the very top. It's tucked underneath of the fabric. So it's kind of hard to see from the outside, but I'll lift up the fabric a little bit. And later I'll show you stickers that go on top of that filter, so when you want to shower or bathe or whatever, you can protect the filter from getting water inside of it. There are different Velcro sections on this bag, so there's one right near the filter there, and then a little bit lower down on the bag. And these little pieces of Velcro are there so you can fold the bag up and make it smaller than what it is when it's just completely hanging out. I really like this drainable bag because of the opening at the end. I always have trouble opening the plastic, but this one they've made it very nice. It opens very easy just by squeezing the sides of the end of the bag. Pops right open, so it's very easy to clean and empty. And then you can fold up your bag with the Velcro and decide what size you want it to be. I usually make sure that it's just tucked up to the first piece of Velcro, so that way, you know, it has enough room in it, but it's still, you know, small. But if you wanted to, you could fold it all the way up to like almost the top of it and make it really tiny. This is also really nice to do if you're traveling with them and you want to make like a stack of your bags. They lie nice and flat, just tucks together. It's great. So in the box for all of these bags, of course you have your bags. I only have one more left in this box, so I have another box ready to go in my medical storage. On this bag, if we flip it over, you can see the ring that is actually what cinches up to fit around the flange ring. That way you just kind of click it. I'll show you in more detail when I go into my bag change video, but you just click that little ring together, make sure it's closed, and that way the bag won't peel off from the flange. It comes with the stickers that I told you about earlier, just to cover your filter to make sure no water gets in there, and you can take it off later when you get out of the shower, out of the bathtub. It also comes with some trash bags, which I really like. They're nice and thick so you can't see through them, and just keeps it nice and discreet. It also comes with a little info packet in case you're interested. And it also comes with a stoma guide, which is really helpful if you're unsure what size stoma you have, especially like starting out. You're able to put this right up against your stoma. You can either put it around, or if you have a larger stoma, you can see it's kind of cut in half at the bottom of the guide, but just fit it to your stoma, see which size works best for you. Use that on the back of your wafer. You can use that to be your guide. You can draw a line with a Sharpie, however you want to do it. And of course, before I forget, let's show this box and the product numbers. Remember, like I said before with the flanges, this product number is for my size, the size that I use. So if you need a larger or a smaller size, make sure that you're looking up the right product number for you. Almost every medical supplier website will provide this. You just have to look up Sensuro Mio Coloplast, and the product should pop up. So another thing that I use is adhesive remover. I always use adhesive remover, and I use two different kinds. I actually find it more important than the barrier spray. So I use the Trio Elite barrier spray, and I use that just to remove my bag. So I'll spray it right in between my skin and the flange and peel the bag off. That way it doesn't take off any extra skin that it shouldn't be. And then I will use the wipes, the adhesive remover wipes, to remove anything, any extra like adhesive that's stuck to my skin. Now I do also have barrier wipes. I use the Trio Elite barrier wipes and barrier spray, but not with every bag change. So what I found, and I believe that Coloplast actually recommends this, you don't use barrier film with your bag changes. It actually makes it not stick as well, and I found that to be true. So a few weeks ago, I believe I posted on Instagram, maybe Instagram or on a video, I put on a new flange and it immediately peeled off. And what I realized was happening is the barrier film was peeling off with the flange, so nothing was on my skin. So I stopped using it, and the flanges have been sticking way better. I do keep them around though. I keep them in my medical storage just because you never know when you're going to need some powder for skin irritation, and you need barrier fluid to basically seal that in. So I keep it around, I just don't use it with every bag change. And the last thing I use from the Trio line is the Silex flange extenders. If I had to choose one thing for my Ostomy products, like the one accessory product, it would be this, because it saves me in the shower. When there is no border around a flange, and the flange is made of hydrocolloid, it absorbs water. That's how it keeps your skin healthy. So when it's exposed to water in the shower, it immediately absorbs it right around the edge. It gets gooey, it gets like puffy, so it just doesn't feel good. And that's why I use the flange extenders. They're so nice, they're so thin, you can barely feel that they're there, and they just keep the water away. And this is how they fit around a flange. They basically wrap around. You use two of them. I always put the lower one on first, and then I put the upper one on second, so it kind of overlaps going downward rather than the other way around where water can kind of get under the overlapped one. Does that make sense? Maybe not. I also use Hollister paste right around the stoma. On the flange. I always put it directly on the flange rather than on my skin. Keeps it a little bit more sanitary. And also, if I don't cut the bag perfectly to size, if there's any gaps in between my stoma and the edge of the, like where I cut out, this will fill it in. So I never have issues with leaks or any problem with that. It just keeps my skin totally protected around my stoma. And finally, I have deodorizing lubricant from Safe and Simple. I really like this. I keep a few different bottle sizes, so I have one that I can travel with, and then I just have one that stays in the bathroom and it's really big. And that's the one that is in this video right now that you're seeing. So these are all of the products that I use when I do my bag changes. You can see all the product numbers, and of course the Amazon links will be below, except for, like I said, the Ostomy bags and the flanges. Just because I want to make sure that you guys are getting the right thing, and sometimes they don't label it depending on where it's coming from. But everything else that I have in this video, I believe I've purchased off of Amazon at least once, so I know that like they're good. Hopefully this video was helpful for you, and please watch out for the next video of me changing my bag using all of these products. You can see my methods of how I do it, and it seems to work pretty well. I'm getting maybe 4 to 5 days out of every flange, and I feel more comfortable. I feel like the bag is just, you know, not there, to be honest. That's what I look for in an ostomy bag. Alright guys, I will see you in the next video. Bye!